HTCG. If you don't know what that stands for, it means homemade trading card game. Games like Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh! Those games all started somewhere. For this series, I'll be creating my own homemade trading card game called BLOB TCG. This game is very unique. I think it brings a different view to trading card games and how they can work. And I'm really excited to bring you guys along with me on the journey of how I create my card game, the different ways of how I test my game, and how in the end I'm going to be making my game and releasing it to the public for other people to buy. So thank you guys for clicking on episode 1 of this amazing series. So let's get started. So in today's video, episode 1 of the series, I don't have an actual name of the series, so I will be creating that, but don't worry about that as of right now. Right now, we have to brainstorm of what our trading card game is going to be. So I already have an idea that's really unique, and I think it's going to be really cool and really different from other trading card games, especially homemade trading card games in the HTCG community on YouTube. So start off, we need a theme, right? So for a theme, I was thinking something simple, right? For TCGs, you need, something that's going to motivate you, right? That you're going to have fun with, right? So we'll also say fun, right? And for me, if you know me, I'm the creator of Realm Rumble TCG. I'm not the best with art. I really like just drawing stick figures and things like that because, well, I'm just not the best at art, right? It just takes a long time for me. I kind of get impatient. So I need something that's easy to draw, okay? Now, after thinking about this for a little while, I came to the conclusion of, drumroll please, blobs, okay? Blobs. Now, if you don't know what a blob is, well, it's pretty much what you make it. My blobs are just going to look like this. Little smiley face there. Yeah, so blobs, okay? So that's going to be our theme. It's easy to draw, right? I just drew that in seconds. It's going to be fun, right, with the gameplay and with the card art. And it's going to be simple. It's going to be, it's just a blob, right? Simple blob. Okay, so now that we got our theme, right? Let's go into, here, let me box that up. Now that we got our theme, we need, let's do an objective, okay? So with an objective, we need it to be something that's easy to understand, right? People are going to like it, right? They're going to want to play the game. And then we want it to be easy, okay? So I was thinking on the topic of blobs, the objective will be to have the most blobs, right, at the end of the game. Okay, really simple. All you need to know is having the most blobs, okay? So we have our theme, simple, easy, fun, and now our objective, something that people can understand. Hopefully you viewers at home already understand the premise and objective of the game is to get the most blobs, right? No matter how the game works, we just know that we have to get the most blobs, right? That's your goal, okay? So, boom, we got that. Now that we got our theme and objective, now we need some sort of system, right? The system's big because that's what's going to make the game actually fun and work, right? So, for system, I created this idea, right? Just brainstorming. And I think it's really unique. And I think it's something that I haven't actually seen in the TCG universe, right? And what that is, it's called snake draft, okay? Or it's just kind of a snake system in a sense. Now, I call it snake draft because, well, if you ever played fantasy football, which if you don't like sports, all good. I love sports, especially football. I love watching it and playing it with my friends and family. But a snake draft that relates to fantasy football. That's when I think of it. So pretty much for fantasy football, you have to draft players and whatsoever, right? And in order to draft the players, it's a snake draft. So if you're player 1, right, or I guess team 1, you would draft the first player in the draft. And if you're the 12th player, then you would draft the 12th player in the draft, right? And it's a snake draft. So what it does is pretty much, here's player 1, and he's player 12. And pretty much, it starts at player 1, goes throughout the whole draft, goes to player 12, and then it comes back to player 12. So player 12 gets a back-to-back pick. Now it comes all the way back to player 1, and then we have player 1 again, and they get 2 picks, right? So now to make this more understandable for you guys at home watching, I'm going to draw a quick system. So For the snake draft, there will be 10 turns, okay? So that's what I'm drawing here. It's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, okay? So for you guys at home that maybe don't understand it, well, for a snake draft, it's going to start at player 1. So this is the start, okay? And the end will also end on player 1. I might be confused. Well, let's start it. So it starts with player 1, okay? They get their first turn. Then it goes over to player 2, okay? Now player 2 gets their first turn and their second turn, okay? Now it goes back to player 1 where they get their second turn and now their third turn. Back to player 2, right? Okay, and there you go. You have it drawn. So, like I said, starts with player 1, player 2, they get their first and second turn. Then it goes back to player 1, back to player 2. So pretty much you get 2 turns at a time, okay? Now with this system though, I'm going to make it to where your coins or mana or whatever you get to actually play the blobs, right? We'll call it your resource, right? All right, so the resource you get, right? You don't get to keep after each turn, okay? So you actually want to play, let's say, right, on this turn. So you want to play on this turn, and then the next turn you don't get to keep those resources. So you want to play all your resources on this turn, so that way you're not wasting any, right? And I'll go into depth on more videos, but that's just kind of the premise and basics of the system that I want. I think it's going to be really unique. The game will also have a really nice benefit of time, right? Because I think for a TCG, you don't want it to, last like, hour, 2 hours, Most TCGs do last up to an hour or longer or shorter, right? This TCG, I want something that's, you already know how long the game's going to last. This game's already going to last, 10 stages or 10 rounds, right? With each player getting 10 turns. So I think that's really unique. I think it sets the premise to where you don't have to worry about the game lasting for 2 hours if you're going to play with your friend. And especially if you start to get to know the game and you know your deck, the game is going to go by. It could go by under 10 minutes depending on, how good the players are in a sense. So I think this game is going to be awesome. I think there's some really cool benefits of this. And I'm going to get into more depth, like I said before, in future videos. So with that, guys, being said, I hope you're excited for BLOB TCG. I think it is something that is going to take the homemade trading card game community by storm. I think it's super simple, super fun, and I'm so excited to show it off. So stay tuned, guys. Now that we got our theme, objective, and system complete, I look forward to future videos showcasing the artwork and the actual gameplay. So stay tuned, guys. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day.